We hear about AI all the time. I mean, it's everywhere, in our phones, our cars, our jobs. But here's the thing. Behind that one little word, AI, there's a huge difference in how these amazing tools are actually made and shared. And that's what we're going to dive into. So when you see a news story about some incredible new AI, do you ever stop and think, wait a minute, are they all built the same way? Well, the short answer is nope, not at all. And getting your head around that difference is actually the key to understanding where all of this is headed.
Really, when you boil it all down, the AI world is basically split into two big camps, and each one has a totally different idea about how this powerful technology should be handled.
So, on one side, you've got closed-source AI. Think of this like a company's most valuable secret. The inner workings are completely locked away. But on the other side, you've got open-source AI, where everything is shared publicly for the whole world to see, to use, and even to build upon. It's really a fundamental split between keeping it private and making it public.
The best way to get this is with a really simple analogy. Let's think about the difference between a secret restaurant recipe and a community cookbook that anyone can read.
So, a closed-source AI, that's kind of like that mind-blowing dish you had at a fancy restaurant. You can go there, order it, and absolutely love it, but the chef is never, ever going to tell you the secret ingredients. An open-source AI, though, is like a recipe from a cookbook that everyone shares. You can follow it perfectly, sure, but you can also decide to swap out some ingredients, make it your own, and then share your awesome new version with everybody.
Okay, so how does this actually connect back to the tech? Well, in the world of AI, that secret recipe is really the model's instructions, its code, and something called its weights, which is pretty much everything the AI learned to form its brain. The restaurant, of course, is just the company that owns it all. And that community cookbook? Well, that's an AI model you can literally just go and download from the internet.
All right, so the whole recipe thing makes sense, right? Now let's look at how this plays out in the real world with some of the big AI names you've probably heard about. So take GPT-4. That's the powerhouse behind ChatGPT. It's a textbook example of a closed-source model. You and I can use it all day long on their website, but there's no way we can peek under the hood to see how it works. On the flip side, you have Meta's Llama model. That one's open source. Any developer out there can download the entire thing and run it on their own computer, totally separate from Meta. See the difference?
Okay, let's try a quick thought experiment. Imagine you're running a small startup, and you want to build a little chatbot to help your customers. You've got a choice to make. Do you go with the secret recipe or the community cookbook?
Well, if you go the closed-source route, it's pretty quick to get started. But you'll probably have to pay a fee for every single question your customers ask. Plus, and this is a big one, you have to send your private customer data over to the AI company's computers. You're also stuck with their rules and whatever price they decide to charge. It's a classic trade-off, really. You get convenience, but you give up control. Now, if you pick an open-source AI, the whole game changes. You run it on your own computers, which means all your customer data stays completely private with you. You have total control, total flexibility. So what's the catch? Well, it takes a bit more technical know-how to get it all set up. So it really boils down to this. Do you pay for a simple, ready-to-go service, or do you invest in building your own private, customizable system?
Well, look, this whole thing isn't just a technical problem for startups. This choice between open and closed has huge consequences for every single one of us. It's actually shaping the future of AI right before our eyes.
Think about it. A future full of closed-sourced AI means a ton of power ends up in the hands of just a few big companies. Now, they'll give us some amazing, polished products that are super easy to use, but we just have to trust them to do the right thing. A future with more open-source AI, on the other hand, spreads that power out. It lets anyone, and I mean anyone, build and innovate. But it also brings up some tough questions, like who's responsible if something goes wrong?
Of course, it's not always so black and white. There's this new trend of hybrid models popping up. A company might release the cookbook, the finished AI, for everyone to use, but they'll keep the process of how they actually developed all those recipes a total secret. It's kind of their attempt to get the best of both worlds.
So, at the end of the day, why should any of this matter to you? Well, because once you get this difference, you start to see the AI tools you use every day in a completely new way. It helps you understand what's really going on when you hear about AI safety and regulation in the news. And maybe most importantly, it gives you the knowledge to actually be a part of the conversation about what kind of AI future we all want. And that really brings us to the big final question.
When we talk about open versus closed source, what we're really asking is this: who gets to decide the future of this unbelievably powerful technology? Should it be a handful of companies guarding their secret recipes, or should it be a worldwide community sharing a giant cookbook? That's a question we're all going to have a say in answering.